So my name is Jana and I work as Advocacy Expert in Rubikon Centrum, which is a non-profit organization helping people with criminal past, but also pushing for system change in criminal justice in Czech Republic. I think that there are certain barriers that people who are released from prisons are facing, and we also think that the current system of criminal justice is not a good one, that it's not the best thing you can do to lock up people in prisons, that it's not really going to improve their lives and make them think about what they've done. So what we try is to change the whole view of criminal justice, make it more restorative, but also to remove more specific legal barriers that people with criminal past are facing, such as the need to have a clean slate when applying for a job, the difficulties to apply for personal bankruptcy when they have debts. So it's basically often other broader social issues that we are dealing with. Some of them are specific for people with criminal past, but some of them are important to other disadvantaged communities as well. So I'm an advocacy expert, which means I'm really doing the real lobbying. I mean, lobbyist is a less fancy word for advocacy expert. So it means I'm really the person meeting the politicians, trying to persuade them that the things that we propose, the amendments, the changes of laws are good ones, or even trying to motivate them to put certain things in their election programs. We have elections coming up in October, so we've been doing that as well. And together with other NGOs, we even drafted some amendments ourselves with support of other NGOs. So it was not only commenting or giving our comments to the politicians, but also coming up with our own legal proposals even. Open prison in Jiřice, difficult to pronounce, is a very unique project within our criminal justice system because it's totally different from most of other Czech prisons, which operate totally differently. Open prison is different in the way that there's no guards, just very limited security measures. The people working there, the people serving their term there work outside the prison. They can spend time regularly with their families outside of prison, and they're also responsible for taking care of the space of the open prison, including taking care of animals which they have there, and there's a vegetable garden and other things. You can say that partly they build it themselves. So in a way they have really strict program, because besides their job there's all kinds of other activities they're involved in, but on the other hand it makes them more responsible, gives them more responsibility, also more freedom, and it prepares them for the life after release. I do hope that there will be some more. I hope that there's like this seed that we planted among the people from Czech prison service, that they might come up with a small scale detention center for the youth. We have only like about 70 non-adults that serve their term in a separate institution, which is not a very nice one either. And they were really inspired by the Dutch Voluntary Centrum, which is a small scale detention center for youth. So they were really considering visiting Amsterdam. So I hope maybe the next open prison might be the one for the youth. Yellow Ribbon Run is a big sport cultural event which was actually started in Singapore, and we came with the same idea here, being inspired by Singapore 6 years ago. So this year it was the 6th year of Yellow Ribbon Run, and it's a relay race. And the people participating are a very diverse group. We have prisoners who still serve their terms, we have wardens, other people working in prisons, people with criminal past, but also private companies, people working in NGOs. And the nice thing is that they all have to form teams, and you don't know who is who, who's the director of a prison and who's a prisoner. And the main message of the race is run away from prejudice. And it's really about giving second chances to people with criminal past. So on the level of the people themselves, incarcerated people, they are very often from disadvantaged communities. Almost all of them have debts. Many of them grew up outside their families. Many of them have really low education compared to the rest of the Czech population. Many of them never had a real legal job before entering prison. So it's really a combination of social disadvantages. And I would say part of our prison population is kind of a result of non-functional social policy in our country, which is very sad. People shouldn't end up in prisons, for having the bad luck being born somewhere with worse chances for a good life. But there's other barriers as well. For example, we have very high, very long sentences, even for minor offenses. But if people have several minor offenses, it gets combined, and in the end they can get really long sentence. So we have actually the fourth highest incarceration rate from the whole EU, which is really high, and that's because of the long sentences as a combination of this accumulation of sentences. So I would like some changes in the criminal code. For example, what I was saying the last, to stop this tradition of the accumulation of sentences for minor crimes. I would even like for some crimes not to be classified as crimes, so that they're not being so you don't get actually a prison sentence for them. For example, for not paying alimony for children, which I don't think many other European countries have. And I would also like to have better support for people leaving prisons.